Nope, nobody can watch us live. But I'll tell you what, going live, Zach, that's the next level. That's what I'm going to. If I can get to 2 cameras and get this live,
okay.
man, you'll be able to say you were on here when. That's the
okay.
That's the next
I
goal.
like that.
That's the next goal for the Parkcast. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am here with Mr. Zack Smith. Zach, official title here in Weatherford is Mayor Pro-Tem.
That's right.
Mayor Pro-Tem as of fairly recently, right? I mean, within 3-4 months?
Yeah, no, less than that, actually, just 2 meetings ago.
2?
So just after the election, when Paul was overwhelmingly reelected as mayor.
Okay.
The very next meeting is when we did appointments as a council. And as you know, having served on the school board, it's great to know that your peers respect you in that way. So
Yeah.
I'm humbled, and I appreciate it.
So what you're describing, just for the viewers, is the way it works in the school board, same way with the municipality, is you're not voted into that. You are just voted in as a councilman, and then it is your peers, the other 7 or 6, plus you, 5.
There's 5 of us total.
5 total.
So 4 plus
they
me.
vote for you.
Yeah.
So to have the respect of your peers is that's a testament, and that's pretty good. I was I rose to vice president of the Weatherford School Board. Cost me a lot of money in bribes. But I was no, I'm just kidding. There was no bribes. But yes, it did feel good when your peers voted for you. All right, Mr. Zack Smith, thank you. I think this is podcast episode 25 or 26. I got to look at the numbers. We're doing this once a week. I've seen you come in a bunch after council, usually on Tuesdays. You guys are doing some after-hours business, and I'm like, oh, I want to get you in this seat. I want to get you in this seat.
Yeah,
You're always
glad
like,
to be here.
You're always like, yep, give me a message, give me a text. So very glad to have you. This is a Thursday, very busy. Your schedule's busy, my schedule's busy. The place is bopping. Peach Fest is right around the corner. So if we're watching this in the fall or next year, we are sitting here in a busy time of year for Parker County with Peach Fest coming up. And we'll talk about that towards the end because there's some pretty cool questions I want to ask you. But I want to give the mic over to you a little bit. Talk to me about my first interaction with you here in Parker County was you as a small business owner. Sure. And it was I was on planning and zoning. It was a cool business idea, and it has taken off. I mean, that was maybe 3-4 years ago. Tell us a little bit about your start and the small business world and how you're doing here in the county.
You bet. Yeah. No, it's an easy topic for me just because it's our life, right? And it's so fun, especially moving back here to Parker County, our home, getting to get started. So we're right at our 4-year mark, and it's been a great experience. You know, our business is doing well. We were actually Weatherford Chamber's Small Business of the Year this year.
Yeah.
And so and
and
that
this
wasn't
is Buffalo
Equipment Rental.
Buffalo Equipment Rental. Yep, Buffalo Equipment Rental right there on when you're driving in, you see the courthouse right in front of you.
Fort Worth Highway, yep.
Yep, right there on your left. Awesome.
Yep.
Nice.
And so, you know, it's great. It's definitely a family business. And that I think that shows in every way about us. So we have a slogan, and it's "We live here and we give here." And I think people really buy that through our actions, right?
We live here and we give here.
That's it. That. And so we live here, we give here. You know, there's 14 rental businesses in Parker County. There are 7 within the city limits of Weatherford.
I did not know there was that many.
There are. And
I only knew
it's not a chicken store.
I only knew about Buffalo Equipment Rental.
There you go. I like that.
But
I like that.
All right.
Yeah. So, you know, it doesn't rival chicken houses in town.
That's true.
Or banks.
No, or banks.
But it's close.
We got our fair share of truck stops too along the interstate. Yeah. But I hear what you're saying. Yes,
no, it's been a great business. We're happy to be back home. I don't know anything else, right? And so went to college. You know, I'm from here, from Parker County. Lived here my entire life. And
are you born and raised Parker County?
Born and raised in Parker County. Yep.
Really?
And so grew up
Weatherford ISD.
No, Azle ISD.
ISD.
Grew up in Weatherford at the intersection of basically Tucker Road and Ville Station.
Okay, yeah.
At the north end of the county. But Azle ISD, and my dad is now, I'm sure as you know, Superintendent Azle. Mm-hmm. When I was growing up, he was the ag teacher at Azle.
I didn't know. No, I didn't know that.
And so he spent 31 years at Azle ISD now. And so kind of the story about our business, it's a little bit, goes all the way back to there, right, is like most boys, I wanted to aspire to be like my dad.
Okay.
And so the plan was to be an ag teacher. And I go to school and went to college and participate a lot in the Park County Stock Show here and got a chance to go to school to become an ag teacher, and I did.
Would you go, Tarleton?
I went to my options were Tarleton or West Texas A&M.
When you hear ag,
yeah. And so my
West
options
Texas
were
A&M. All right.
Tarleton or West Texas A&M. And let me tell you how I chose. I knew geographically that my parents would have to call first before they went to West Texas A&M.
So it was an easy decision.
And they could drive to Tarleton without telling me.
Surprise visits.
Right.
Yes, indeed. What's the mascot, West Texas A&M?
It's a buffalo.
No, it
hence
is not.
the West. Hence the West Texas
And
Buffaloes.
is that why
and
you
that's
did
why,
it?
Yep. Met my wife at West Texas A&M, and so we just kind of buffalo equipment rental.
That's cool. I
Yeah.
didn't know that. Do you have
Yeah.
any? If someone walks into the shop to rent, do you have like any West Texas memorabilia?
There is
A
some.
helmet. I know you don't probably have football, but like whatever. I mean, you have.
There is some. There's
Okay.
some around in our office. So, yeah, it was a good experience. So
Okay.
the plan was to teach ag, and the reality is about maybe 4 months before student teaching, I was building steel buildings and pouring concrete with a guy there who's become my mentor, and he said, "I don't think that's what you want to do. I think you want to do something else, and you need to explore your options. Just don't be set on becoming an ag teacher." And so I did, and I got an internship with Warren Caterpillar in their rental department.
Okay.
And then went to work for a rental company, and I don't know anything else. And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you
It's
were
the best way to
asking,
learn.
and so you were asking, how did our business get started? The reality is, I just didn't know anything else other than it was time to come home,
Yep.
and it was time to work for ourselves, and we opened a rental store
Well,
here.
and you mentioned and you've mentioned family, a family-owned business. Tell me a
Yeah.
little bit about the family. What do we got going on back
Man, they're
home?
great. So my wife, Brittany, she's here today. Y'all can't see her, but she's behind the camera
She's
there.
watching every
That's
word
right.
you say carefully.
That's right. And so my wife, Brittany, and then we have 3 kids. So we have a situation a lot like yours, actually. We have a 12-year-old daughter, an 11-year-old son, and a 2-year-old son.
That is very much. My family's on the other side there. Yep, we had, and I'll tell you, we're now in the throes with us, where the 2 oldest are now going to college. So
Yep.
they're like out of the house. Morgan, the second one, goes in 2 weeks. So now we're calling it like phase 2 of our family life, because
Sure.
the oldest 2, we had a family, and which you're in the midst of. You're going to love it. It's great. You're loving it. You guys are doing wonderful stuff, and it's wonderful. But it's like it is changed now. But it's not over. It's just changed. It's very weird. The 2 are gone, and it's like, hey, that was the fun early 2000s. Now it's the 2 of us and Sophie, our youngest,
Sure.
and yeah, it's this second kind of stage of life where it's not just going to last a year. It's like for the next 6 years.
Yeah.
It's just the 3 of us. So yeah, it's an interesting. You'll get there. It'll
Yeah.
be, and I haven't been there either, so I can't give you any advice.
We're looking forward to it. But you know
It'll be
how I
good.
learned that about you?
Do they go to the business at all? Do they help out?
They go a ton.
See, that's the best thing.
They ride in the truck.
Yep.
We deliver equipment. They wash equipment after Mass on Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
We do bills together. They talk to customers. My daughter, her name is Maddie, and so she's big into answering the phone, right? And so her biggest thing that she loves to do is answer the phone at my business, and this is, you got to think, like we deal with construction guys all day, right?
Oh yeah.
And so
And
they're
she's
incredible
the 12?
people. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 12.
And so for the last 4 years, her biggest pleasure at our business is answering the phone and saying, "Hello, this is Maddie. Will you please hold while I go get my daddy?" And about half of them think it's really cute, and the other half are like, "What in the world's going on here? I thought I called a business."
All right.
So,
That sounds about right. Half probably love it,
Yeah.
and they think it's wonderful. Half are like grumpy.
going on
and
here?
Yeah. I'm just trying to rent a forklift. Yeah,
but she loves it.
That's
So
good.
you know
Well,
how I learned about your family though
Okay.
was by watching your podcast,
Oh.
and so I knew that story. One thing I also noticed in your
I
podcast
like
though
this.
was
I like it.
you had Mayor Paul Paschal
I
on.
did have Mayor Pascal. Yes,
Great
sir.
friend of mine.
Yep.
Great friend of yours.
Yep. Paul's a good
An
guy.
incredible leader, right? Great. But
He's
one-
good. He's
one thing he
good.
did
He's
not
good.
do
Let's not
was-
pump him too.
He didn't bring you anything when he was on your podcast.
I noticed
And I
that.
brought you a book and a sticker.
Let me see. What do we got
For the record,
here?
I just want that to be on here.
Look at this. So Mayor Pascal came empty-handed, but Zack, Mayor Pro-Tem, we got this 76086 sticker. That's going to go up here somewhere.
Yeah.
And then the Weatherford book.
Picture book.
Oh my! This is wonderful.
That's
Look
right.
at this. No, Zack, you you have the heart of a leader. You have the heart of a leader. Paul could definitely learn a couple things there from you. No, I'm just kidding. It was good.
Yeah.
No, that's funny. I love it. That's good. That's
For
good.
sure.
So speaking of this now, speaking of Paul, Mayor,
Yeah.
you're the Mayor Pro-Tem. Let's kind of pivot because you've done what many of us have, myself included. You're at a certain stage in life, and then all of a sudden, your name ends up on a ballot.
Sure.
So how did we get to, I'm living life, I'm going to school, I'm starting a family, I'm starting a business, now I'm going to be an elected official?
Sure.
How did all that kind of start?
It really happened kind of natural. Definitely service is my pleasure, no question.
Okay.
And so, and luckily it's my family's as well, right? And so my kids love to serve. We go to the Tarrant Area Food Bank, and they love to do
great.
that and things. And so, the service is definitely our pleasure. It's more than a hobby. It's a way of life for us, and it really was from an early childhood, right? So my dad, back when it was a cool thing to do, my dad actually served on the Tri-County Board of Directors and was elected for over 18 years.
When you mean back when it was a cool thing to do, you're talking about service? Or
Yes.
back on that specific board?
Maybe that specific
Well,
board.
because you just, okay. Well,
Yeah.
when you mentioned that about back when it's a cool thing to do about service,
Yeah.
it is, my grandpa Tarbay, I wear his watch.
Sure.
Late grandfather, he was on the Knights of Columbus, he was on the VFW, he was a volunteer fireman, probably 50, he was the World War II generation. So many boards, so many clubs, so many groups.
Yeah.
Gen X, I don't know if we've kept up with it. I don't think the millennials have kept up with it. So when you say back when it was a cool thing to do, I didn't know if that's where you were going with it. But the service is still out there, and especially here in Texas, we're a good Christian state, and there's a lot of volunteering and a lot of helping. But the service, when it comes to, like, you're part of the Noon, is it the Noon Lions?
Yep.
Or,
Absolutely.
yeah, there was 15 of them in every city in America. 60
Sure.
years ago. There's not so much anymore. Talk to me real quick about the Noon Lions. How is that going?
And it's great. It's fantastic.
I see a lot of your posts kind of welcoming new folks.
Yeah, you bet. And we just wrapped up the Park County Sheriff Posse Rodeo, Frontier Rodeo Days. And so if you ate a hamburger there,
You were flipping
I was
them?
probably flipping them. Yeah.
Nice.
And so if it was good, I'll take any complaints. And if it was bad, well, it probably was another Councilman Luke Williams on shift.
It was
that
probably
time.
Luke.
Yeah,
Yes, Luke
yeah.
was definitely flipping
Definitely.
the dry hamburgers.
No, it was good. So you were talking
Coming out.
about service and getting on a ballot.
Yeah.
Um,
Your journey.
Yeah, and so the reality is it really was exactly as you described. My dad did a lot of different things when I was little, and I was able to see that. Not just my dad, but my aunts and uncles and my mom and all these different people, my grandparents. And so I knew it was something that I needed to do. Was just step up and be a part of the community, And so again, that piece that we live here, we give here for our business. It's really not just mouth service; it's a way of life.
Mm-hmm.
And so it came a time where when you were getting off of P&Z, they were looking for somebody, and I was able to fill that role. We got involved in Noon Lion. We got involved in Young Business Leaders and Chamber of Commerce and all these different things. But really probably the turning point was another big-time Parker County name, the late Jordan Wood. He was on the Tri-County board with my dad.
Oh, okay.
And so we traveled a lot when I was a kid and traveled a lot with Tri-County.
Wow.
And Jordan had actually told me, he had said, hey, what you ought to do, and if anybody knows Jordan, he's kind of got a Jordan voice, so I'll try not to do that here. But what you ought to do is you should apply to be run for one of these governor-appointed positions at the state level. And I did. I was like, this guy really knows a lot, and he knows best, and so if this is an opportunity to get into leadership, I will. And I did so, and I served a better part of 2 terms on the Red River Water Authority of Texas, appointed by the governor.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's excellent.
It was great.
How was that? Good learning experience?
It was a good learning experience. It was good.
Any wild controversies, or was it pretty simple?
Oh, no. It was. There wasn't any wild controversies.
Red River
Water Authority of Texas.
Red River Water Authority of Texas.
Yep. And so it was great, but through that process, you go before the Senate, you go before the House. And so you get nominated maybe by the governor, but you may get appointed, but you get approved through the Senate and the House.
Gotcha.
And so that was an entire process during legislative session a couple of times.
Interesting.
It was cool. And so through that.
How old were you when you were doing this? Because this was all before even.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep. And so I would say maybe I got appointed in 2018.
Okay.
And their 2-year terms are better part of 2 terms. And so my point in that is, then got involved on the chamber board and some different things. And so it just kind of materialized into what it's become today, just kind of, I would say naturally. And so did I think, hey, when we move back home to move our family here, raise our family in Parker County, 5 years or 4 years after I move home, by the way, I'm also going to be on the city council of a town with over 40,000 people. I never would have thought
A
that.
growing town. With
It's worked out
currently
great.
40,000. Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. No,
It's easy to be on a winning team, though, Josh. It's great. These people are incredible that I serve with. The staff is incredible. It's so easy.
Well,
it's so easy to be on
Zach,
a winning team.
You're somebody, and there's many handfuls of folks in the town and the county that are doing it for the right reasons. And when you're doing it for the right reasons, folks understand that. Your peers, contemporaries, voters, whoever it might be, they're not dumb. They know when someone's legitimate and honest and authentic, and that's you. I mean, you are doing it to help. You're doing it to serve. You're not trying to, fulfill any dream or lifelong goal or ambition.
Sure.
You're doing it just to help. And if the city needs more help, you're willing to step up and serve more. And I love that about you, which is absolutely great. Speaking of serving and doing more, I do want to kind of spend a minute here. I want to pivot into, we're at the Peach Fest time.
You bet.
And I want to talk a little bit, it was wild. I was there last year about how do we want to say it? It was the attempt at a world record. This was a Guinness World Record.
It was the world record.
It was the world record
Yep.
of the cobbler. Peach. You tell us exactly. I don't want to do it injustice. It was the largest peach cobbler ever.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
So the reality is myself along with a ton of people in town.
Sure.
And so I'm excited to tell you about the process, really. But we over doubled the world record on the largest peach cobbler. And that's a reality. We did not hear back from Guinness. So we can't necessarily say it was a Guinness World Record. I will tell you, we corresponded back and forth with them for over 9 months.
Okay. So talk to me about that real quick. So you have to start this off a few months ahead of time and say, we're going to be attempting this? And
we started a year early.
You started a year early. Email them, call
Correct.
them, whatever, and
Correct.
you let them know we're going to be attempting this. Peaches is Parker County. We're going to try the largest cobbler.
You got it.
And they replied.
They did.
Said okay.
Yep.
Did they send anybody out or did they?
They did not. And there's two options you can go with Guinness. So we intentionally chose the route that you don't send anybody out. And so it is self-verified.
Okay.
But it's a longer process to be self-verified, in which we were fine with. So you have to have certified scales. Thanks to Dillard's Feed and Seed right down the road.
Yes, I remember that. I remember, yeah.
And so we had certified scales. You had to eat it, which we did do that. You had to have somebody to eat it, and so we did do that. You had to document the process leading up to
eat it.
Yeah. Has to be edible.
Has to be edible, yeah.
And so you document the process leading up to it. You document your products that you use, your methods of doing it, all these different things. It was a really big document process. The reality is we did all of the things. Mm-hmm. We did double the world record.
Okay.
But we just haven't heard back from him yet. And so maybe that will come. If that day comes, that's extra sweet, right?
Man, it's gotta come.
If it doesn't come, the reality is we did break the world record in having a certified scale 5,790 pound peach cobbler.
5,790 pound peach
That's correct.
cobbler.
That's correct.
That's pretty big peach cobbler.
It was great. And so
for those who may be watching, listening, I'm driving over the railroad tracks. I'm heading towards the courthouse, and I look down to my right, and there is a big hoopla going on.
Sure.
And there's some signage about world record peach cobbler, right? There was some
Sure.
signage about
Yes.
cobbler.
Yes.
And I literally just pulled down. I was like, I remember seeing this on Facebook. Yeah, we're going for this cobbler. Oh, I got to check it out. So I drove in, and I see quite a mechanical setup. So describe to us, no one was. If they weren't there, what would they have seen? They saw a huge trough. There was people opening peaches under tents, right?
It was
Cans
awesome.
of peaches, cake things. Go through the logistics.
So the logistics are, we need to back up a little further than that even to tell you the full story.
Yeah.
So logistics are, we knew early on at the chamber with young business leaders had done this, and we knew early on we wanted to kind of enact a slogan of mine, which is unity and community, right?
Okay.
And so we saw, and I think everybody sees this, right? It's not just us, but after COVID, there was a significant drop in people's mental space when it comes to community, right? And so what that means to people is different now than what we described earlier when I was telling you a story about my dad and Tri-County and all these things. And so we wanted to bring that back. That's a piece of Weatherford. Weatherford is a strong community, right? That's been their slogan for years and years. And so the reality is we want to bring back unity community, and we knew that we needed to get the students at Weatherford ISD to help us build this cobbler pan.
Yeah, pan. Okay.
And so they did.
Yeah.
And so the ag teachers agreed to do it. I don't know if they would again, but they did agree to do it.
Okay.
It's 21 feet long, 10 feet wide, and 18 inches
So
deep.
there was some welding.
Unbelievable amount of welding.
Well, some welding.
It was
some
great.
Sheet metal work. Okay.
It was great. And so
Was it mobile? Was it on
I
wheels?
hold it on my semi. No.
Okay.
No.
You hold it. So there was a
Yeah.
stationary large pan.
Very large pan.
Very large pan.
And so the school got involved in that way, and then we bring it to the site as you described, okay?
Which
And-
is over by the
which was at Peacock's Feed and Seed.
Peacock's Feed and Seed, right by the railroad tracks. Yeah.
That's correct. And so they graciously allowed us that space, and we utilized that strategically because Dillard's had allowed us to use their scales.
Mm-hmm.
And then we knew that we had enough equipment and manpower to load it on the semi and then get it up the street. And our intentions were to serve it to people.
Gotcha.
The reality is that didn't work out, and we'll get there in a minute. But as far as what you saw there, the most important thing you saw there was the faces that were there and the amount of people that were there. And so our plan worked regardless.
It was awesome.
It was awesome.
was.
You know, I had a 1-year-old there, all the way up to there was people in their 90s that were there, and so we had almost a 90-year age gap in the amount of people that had their hands in that.
Well, and everybody, like myself, you take out the phone, I'm taking pictures.
Yeah.
I posted on Facebook, hey, I'm over here by the railroad tracks.
Yeah.
They're going for the world record largest cobbler. There was tons of folks doing that. Like,
Yes.
it was super exciting.
Yeah.
You know, social media acts as a bit of a spider web. Sometimes it can be bad, but in this case, it was great. And it really did. There was the group that was there, the nucleus, of which there was a lot. I mean,
Sure.
maybe
Over 100.
hundreds. Yeah, it was a lot of people. But then they're all posting and sharing, and those secondary people were like, hey, this is my aunt down in Texas. I'm up here in New England. Look at this, and they're posting.
Yeah.
So, no, I mean, it was shared
It
you know,
worked.
far and wide, and it was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That's why I want to talk about it, because, I mean, it was super cool.
So what you saw there, we had 800 cinder blocks.
Okay. The cinder blocks.
800 cinder blocks. That was kind of our pit, right? And so we put this pan on some cinder blocks. We put a 1,000,000 BTU heater under it.
I don't even know what that means.
It's unbelievable.
A
1,000,000 BTUs.
Okay. All right.
And we probably could have used 2 million, if I'm
Okay.
being honest.
Okay.
And so I built this thing in my shop on a snowy day, which whatever one there was, last year.
Yeah.
I built this thing in my shop. It was a monstrosity, and it had 1,000,000 BTUs. I run it by Judd White, who through this project has been dubbed actually. He likes to be referred now to as Parker County's Prince of Propane.
Prince of Propane.
Correct.
Okay.
But Judd actually helped us out. He brought a tank out. He hooked up to this thing. He monitored it all night with us. And so Texas Butane was involved. And so it was just this big deal. But we built this cinder block. We put the pan in. We covered it with sheet metal to keep the bugs out. But before we covered it, we had generations of Weatherfordians mixing this thing in a concrete
Yes.
mixer. Like a handheld or a toe behind concrete mixer,
Yep,
brand
yep.
new one,
Yes.
clean one.
Yes.
And
I remember seeing that, and I'm like,
We're mixing this
concrete
thing.
mixer. I guess no one's eating it. It's like, no. It's
brand
sanitized.
new.
It's clean. It's
Yep.
brand new. This is
Fire
the
Oak
concrete.
Grill,
Yep.
actually, we used their recipe,
Okay.
and so there's another person
Oh,
involved.
I didn't know that. So this was a
Yes,
a
a community
hometown
event.
local recipe.
It was great.
All right.
And so we build all of this. We stay up all night long. We
Mm-hmm.
babysit this thing. We cook it. Probably, if I had
you
to
started
guess,
cooking it the night before.
we cooked it through the entire night.
So when I showed up the next day, it had already been cooking.
We started Thursday, so today, a year ago.
That
We set
might
up
have
the
been
pit.
when I showed up.
We set up
'Cause
the pit.
Everyone was under the tents, opening stuff.
That was Friday.
That was Friday. Okay.
Set up the pit Thursday. Friday, we opened and did all of the things with the families and communities and stuff, and that part was great, man. We had all the families out. Overnight, Friday night, we stayed up all night long and cooked it. Saturday, we waited in. We were unable to serve it. I think we probably, if I had to guess, our mistake was probably like margarine versus butter. I think that's probably where we slipped up. We used margarine, and when I say we used margarine, I kid you not, We used 2 pallets of margarine.
2 pallets.
Over 35 5-gallon tubs.
Yeah, that's nuts.
And so there was something there. But the reality is, we accomplished our goal. We did double the world record. We brought our community together, which was what it was all about from the start.
Well, and wasn't, gosh, this is rumor, but wasn't it like it could have been served, maybe. It was the decision of like, oh no, we're not messing around with mass serving unless we're 100% sure. It has to be 100% sure that this is food eligible. Every inch of it is food eligible. I thought I had heard that, like, most of it was probably good. It's just this is a tough one. We got to side with caution.
You're exactly right.
Okay.
You had mentioned earlier the power of the internet and social media.
Yeah.
And as you know, I've ran for public office. I don't think it would have passed that test.
There you go.
But the reality is it could have been served. It was good. We ended up giving it away to farms and animals and all these different things. So it wasn't all for nothing.
No.
But we didn't serve it intentionally just to kind of save some of that.
Which is cool. And then I think I remember you had posted or somebody had asked, like, okay, so we're going again next year, right? Now, obviously, we're here. We're not doing it. I mean, was there any thought of trying to, or was, going forward again? Or was it just a hard no after that?
Yeah, I would say the committee came together, and it was YBL that did it through the Weatherford Chamber.
Okay.
But the reality is I think we would all be in agreement right now that we accomplished our goal.
So that's it. We did it.
Our plan was not to have the world's largest Peach Cobbler. That's great, and Weatherford deserves that, and they have it.
Yep.
But the reality is we were bringing our community closer together. We're teaching young generation at the high school and younger than that came out that it is important to be part of your community.
Well,
and we did that.
And you did. And you were talking about your children working at your business about 15 minutes ago. We're talking about people being part of the community. It's not always going to be an exact apple-to-apple learning experience. So for your kids, does it mean that what they're learning at your business is that they are, too, going to open a rental business in a small Texas town, and it'll be this many square feet like yours? It doesn't mean that that's what they're learning.
Sure.
It's not exactly a carbon copy. They're learning about people skills and watching Dad. There's some sacrifice. There's some reward. There's some hard work equals this, and it could then diverge into any number of other things. It's the same thing with the Peach Cobbler. Seeing the community come together and do this, it doesn't mean that, okay, well, we need to do a second or we need to try to set another world record. These kids at the high school learned things that are almost unrelated, but that's how it was related. I guess I'm going off on a tangent.
By design. It was by design.
Yes. And
I don't care if they build another Peach Cobbler.
That's right. But they learned about this guy this group in the town that I used to live in. Let's say it's fast forward 50 years, and they're in northern Washington State. I got this small business, and I remember back when I was in Weatherford and I was part of this event. It brought the community together. Doesn't have to be a carbon copy of trying to do a Peach Cobbler in Weatherford.
Sure.
It's definitely learning, and it's great, and it's wonderful. Zach, we're about to wind up. We got about 30 seconds left. I always want to give my guests an opportunity to just kind of say something to their community, to their family. This is the internet. It will live on forever. Any words of wisdom for the kiddos?
You bet.
Okay,
no, I would say exactly what we've been talking about this entire time, right? Like, Mayor Paul Paschal has a saying where he says, the best is yet to come. And I honestly believe that for Weatherford. This will not, what Weatherford is doing now will not end with me, will not end with him, will not end with even you, Dr. Tarbay. The best is yet to come. And so, to build off of that, I would just say the same, that, in anything that we do, be it a cobbler, be it city council, or be it our business, we really mean it when we say we live here and we give here. And if we can help anybody in any way, we will. And we love Weatherford, and we want to be here for a long time, and we want Weatherford to prosper.
I love it. Mayor Pro-Tem Smith.
You bet. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ben.